Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestlingGamer and ZFX I'm Double B Billy Bojo. This is going to be my Impact Wrestling review for the week of April 4th, 2013. We'll open up the show with Mr. Anderson, D'Lo Brown, and Devon in the ring. Apparently they all got something they wanted to say. Mr. Anderson is now on a personal mission to get AJ Styles to join Aces and Eights. Dion is in possession of an envelope which he has stated for Bully Ray that is going to change his relationship between him and Brooke Hogan. And now D'Lo Brown had a notice of his termination from TNA offices, and he demanded that someone come out, and then Kurt Angle comes out, which then develops into a brawl, which essentially sets up the big main event of the night, which would turn into a 10-man tag with Aces and Eights in the form of Mr. Anderson, Knox, Doc, Wes Briscoe, and Garrett Bischoff taking on Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, Joseph Park, Magnus, and Eric Young, which were the guys that ran out there. So very unique, very nice way to open up Impact. I'm going to go 4 out of 5. Next up, we had a tag team knockouts match. We had Taryn Terrell and Velvet Sky, yikes, and Tara and Gail Kim taking on Tara and Gail Kim. And for some reason, we had this the Joey Ryan, he's trying to, supposed to be sleazy, and apparently in this match he's infatuated with Gail Kim, to the point where Gail Kim had Tarantino rolled up, and Joey Ryan did a fast 3 count, not thinking that Joey Ryan's going to get himself son, and then he ends up getting nut-shotted by Tarantino in the end. 4 out of 5 on the matchup. Joey Ryan gets a 2 out of 5 just because I had to see the chest getting oiled up again. I was like, ugh. Next up, we had the tag team title match signing of Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez, Bobby Roode, and Austin Aries, and they made a couple of stipulations. One stipulation is if Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez lose the match, then they can never team up again in TNA. And the other stipulation is for the type of match they're going to have, and it's going to be a 2 out of 3 falls match, and which honestly I agree with 100%. I have no issues, no problems with seeing these two teams going at it 2 out of 3 falls. It kind of makes it very interesting and a very nice way to have a tag team title match come next Impact. Gut checked. 4 out of 5 on the contract signing. Gun check time saw a great guy in Magno taking on Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce, widely known, a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, a guy with 17 years experience. So trying to make his impact in this matchup, and I thought this was very great. The Studley Man actually has voiced his opinions to me about, his disapproval. Why does a guy with, over 17 years experience like Adam Pearce have to go through gun check just to get himself noticed on a national-wide basis, like TNA? The same could be said about Christian York. Christian York, who had 16 years experience, even started out, he was even with TNA when they started out back around 2002. And he had to go through gut check to get back on that national-wide circuit. So, but Adam Pearce gets the win actually with a dirty pin on Magno. He rolled him up and held the ropes and got the 3 count. But if I were a judge, I would lean towards Adam Pearce a little bit more. But I wouldn't mind saying yes to both these guys, because both these guys were very phenomenal. It was a great match. I was very impressed with Magno from the first time seeing him. and having my first opportunity to see Adam Pearce actually perform, especially in this kind of this kind of audience and this kind of television programming where it's nationwide, and it's very hard to say. The matchup in itself, it's a 4.5 out of 5 from me because of the kind of matchup it was, and the fact that we had two great guys in Magno and Adam Pearce, and again, like I've already said, we know the reputation of Adam Pearce, a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. I've seen a few. I want to see a few of his matches on the independent circuit, especially when he was NWA World Heavyweight Champion. So, that's going to be my comment question to you guys out there. If you guys, especially you, Metal Ruler 45, I know you love to comment on my Impact Wrestling reviews here, so I got to throw it out there to you. I just want to know your opinions about not only Magno but Adam Pearce as well. And like I said, the Studley Man actually had a lot of disapproval about the fact that a guy like Adam Pearce would have to go through gut check to get onto TNA. Metal Ruler 45, I wonder, do you have that same kind of sentiment? Do you feel that Adam Pearce shouldn't have gone through gut check to get onto TNA? So, and it goes on to the rest of you guys as well. If you follow independents like I do, do you agree that Adam Pearce should have gone through gut check to get onto TNA? Put your answers in the comment section below. I look forward to reading what you guys have to say. And also a new thing I want to start doing. I don't want to break away too much from the review, but a new thing I want to start doing, guys. If you guys think it's a good idea, and if you guys start putting your thoughts and comments in the comment section below at the beginning of the next review, saying on next week's review, any comments you guys put on this week's review, come on the next week's Impact Wrestling review. At the beginning of the review, I will address the comments on there. I'll take a couple of comments and I'll address them live on there and kind of give you guys a shout out. So maybe that's an incentive for you guys to maybe put some comments in the comment section below. But anyway, back to the review. Hulk Hogan calls out AJ Styles. With the whole controversy, AJ Styles is still holding the vest from the Aces and Eights. And, you start to finally get AJ Styles to talking, and then Cowboy James Storm comes out, and, they're really developing this whole thing with James Storm and AJ Styles. And I even said it on last week's Impact Wrestling review. They try to make AJ Styles maybe into Sting of WCW back in 1997 when he first came back as Crow Sting. He just wasn't saying anything. One difference is, he said one line, and then that was it. 4 out of 5 on this one. Next up, what I would consider to be the best match of the night. It was the X Division match between Mason Andrews, Sanjay Dutt, and P.D. Williams. Yes, Little P.D. Pump, the Canadian Destroyer, back on TNA programming. I've heard rumors of P.D. Williams re-signing with TNA to a long-term deal, and if TNA has done that, that is a fantastic move by TNA. P.D. Williams is such a great talent. Not to put down Sanjay Dutt and Mason Andrews. Those two guys are phenomenal talents too. But now that you're picking up P.D. Williams, and that shows me that they're doing a lot probably to try to rekindle the X Division, which made TNA such a great product to watch. It was the X Division, and all of the great talent and all of the things they did with their X Division, and P.D. Williams was such a huge part of that division, especially when it comes to some of the phenomenal things that he could do in the ring, and that the finisher, the flipping pile driver, the Canadian Destroyer, was such a devastating and phenomenal move to watch. It is just so great to see him back in the ring, and we finally got to see the return of the Canadian Destroyer as it was used on Sanjay Dutt to get the win for Petey Williams. So, and when I do get the opportunity, guys, by the way, the X Division match, 5 out of 5, it was that great to me. So, but when I do get the opportunity, I'm going to catch the the X Division one night only pay-per-view, and I will have a review of it coming up soon here for you guys. Next up was the Big 10-man tag that was set up earlier in the night between Aces and Eights, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, Joseph Park, Magnus, and Eric Young. It was okay at best. The finish of the match came where the referee was distracted and Wes Briscoe hit a low blow on Joseph Park and got the roll-up for the win. So therefore, Aces and Eights once again gets the win over on TNA. They're doing just so much with this Aces and Eights storyline, but it's getting to the point where, it's Aces and Eights versus TNA. It's going to be Aces and Eights winning again. Or it's going to be Aces and Eights jumping somebody. So, yeah, the Aces and Eights was interesting for a short period of time. And then it's just starting to get a little, to me, honestly, this is the way I see it, the way I feel it. It's not necessarily the fact, it's opinion, guys. Remember that. Opinion. It feels a little dry and a little stagnant. It's getting repetitive, Yeah, we've seen the heel gimmick get a lot of heat and a lot of, getting a good push, but it's getting to the point where, every time we see them, it's the same thing over and over again. I remember NWO back in WCW. Yeah, they got the win most of the time, but not every single time they went out there. I mean, there were some points where they did lose. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. 10-man tag gets a 3.5 out of 5. The finale of the show, it saw Bully Ray calling out Brooke Hogan, apparently to discuss the contents that were in that manila envelope. And we're all thinking, it's divorce papers. It turns out it was actually 2 front row tickets to next week's Impact in Corpus Christi, Texas. For the main event match between Jeff Hardy and Bully Ray, and Bully Ray won Brooke Hogan to see the match front row. Brooke Hogan ends up tearing up the tickets and slapping Bully Ray, and Bully Ray gets in Brooke Hogan's face and says, "What you gonna do about it? Slap me again?" And then out comes Jeff Hardy, and we end the show with Jeff Hardy and Bully Ray having a melee, and no clear cut winner in that fight. It just went back and forth, and that's how they ended the show, which I thought was a nice build up for their rematch. I wouldn't call it rematch of the century, Bully Ray, as you did in the promo, but I can understand the terminology and the way we're using it, that you try to put a lot of build and a lot of emphasis into the rematch between you and Jeff Hardy at Full Metal Mayhem come next week in Corpus Christi, Texas. So, very interesting. I'm kind of like it, so I'm going to go 4 out of 5. Overall score on Impact Wrestling this week, it's going to get a 4 out of 5 from me. I thought it was a good opening with the Aces and Eights and Kurt Angle to set up the 10-man tag. The Knockouts tag team match with Taryn Terrell, Velvet Sky, Tara, and Gail Kim, I thought it was okay. Could have been a lot better without Joey Ryan being the referee. The contract signing between the tag champions Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, and the challengers Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez, I thought was good. Adam Pearce at Magno, you guys already heard my opinions about that. Hulk Hogan confronting AJ Styles, who then gets confronted by Cowboy James Storm. These two are going to end up having a match. Whether it be next week, 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time, somewhere down the road, they're going to have a Styles versus James Storm match. Petey Williams defeating Sanjay Dutt and Mason Andrews, that X Division match, by far best match of the night. The 10-man tag was okay at best, and the finale was basically a big setup and a big way to build for Bully Ray and Jeff Hardy Full Metal Mayhem next week on Impact. So what I want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Impact Wrestling this week. Make sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. And don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZepXTV Network. So with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.
Stone Cold. Stone Cold. Spirituals meaning Stone Cold. I'm Haley Ringrose. Stone Cold.
My name's Andrew Weatherall.
Spirituals meaning Stone Cold.